So these next 5 amendments are kind of social type amendments and economic, have to do with the economy. And we are out of order, so that's okay, because they're not in order necessarily. Number 11, this would be Page's row. What did you come up with for number 11? Anyone in that row got the 11th Amendment? Eric, what do you got for 11?
Is it me?
Yeah, I did.
The judicial branch cannot break the law in favor of the accused.
Okay. More to that would be, basically it protects states against, do you have your book? From being sued by a citizen of another state. So yes, that has to do with the judicial branch also. But it means people from other states can't sue a different state. All right. So this came out in 1798. So this one's been out for quite a while. So this is your 11th one, the first one after the Bill of Rights that was put out. All right, after you get this one jotted down, I want you to flip over to number 14 on page 270. All right. And let's see, what do you got for number 14? Lily, what's number 14?
No citizen or one person will be forced by state law to abide with the blood of the state.
Say that again.
No citizen or natural-born person will be forced by state law to abide the privileges of life and the state practice.
Okay. So kind of what she said is, anybody born in the United States, which is a natural-born citizen, naturalized in the United States, is a citizen. Also in number 14 are your civil rights amendments. It kind of set the groundwork for different type of, like the Americans with Disabilities Acts, making it people with mental or physical disabilities have equal protection. It also set for example, like today in public places, must have wheelchair ramps, doors so that you can get open, handicap accessible. Everything needs to be handicap accessible these days. More about along the lines of the Disabilities Act is Title IX, which is equality in sports. If you have 10 sports offered for boys, you should have 10 sports offered for women, and so on. Also is your Education Amendments Act, which is equal resources for boys and girls within schools, equal resources for boys and girls in athletics. So lots of different civil rights type acts came from this amendment, this 14th Amendment. Number 16 is on page 272. Nick, what's number 16? We don't like number 16.
Number 16 is Congress can collect taxes from the states without any regulations.
Yes, this gave Congress the power and the authority to tax people's income. So the money that I make from school, they automatically take money out of my check. The government does. I don't like this one. But people below the poverty level, whatever the government states as the poverty level, do not have to pay an income tax. And back in 1997, the poverty level was $16,400. I don't know what it is today. Let's look it up because I'm interested to see what it is.
I can Google it real quick right now.
I'll take care of it. You keep on your notes. Alright. What?
It was right there.
No, it wasn't. 20,000, it looks like. Poverty, 20,600 for a family of 4. So if a family of 4 makes less than $20,000 a year, they are considered poverty, meaning their income tax does not need to be, they don't pay income tax. In 1997, 13% of people were considered poor, so there you have it, that's poverty. Number 18 has to do with economics. It's all crossed out, meaning it does not pertain to today, though. We needed to still do it. Paige, what is number 18? What did that do to us?
Making, selling, or shipping of alcohol was banned.
Yeah, banned alcohol, basically. 1919, alcohol was banned. They called this prohibition. During Prohibition, many people broke the law. They made alcohol, they sold alcohol, they shipped alcohol. Lots of powerful crime gangs turned selling illegal liquor into a huge, huge profitable business. One of the effects of Prohibition was to create illegal trade in alcohol. That trade was run by what they call bootleggers. You ever heard of bootlegging? The term bootlegging comes from the practice of hiding flasks in the boot top. Okay, so they call it bootleggers. Bootleggers developed an entire chain of distribution from distillers or breweries to bars. The bars that they had were called speakeasies. That's what they called the bars back during Prohibition, because you had to speak very quietly as to not attract any police attention. Okay? Many, many people made a lot of money during Prohibition because they illegally sold this. It also turned a lot of government officials, people into very corrupt people. Police officers who were supposed to prosecute this crime didn't, because crime bosses and things would give them money so that they wouldn't. And they started becoming involved in it well. So it turned a lot of people very corrupt. Because of this, flip it to 274. Or actually, yeah, 274. We've got the 21st Amendment back 1933. What did that do, Abby?
Alcohol ban was repealed.
What?
Alcohol ban was
Repealed. They repealed number 18, meaning they repealed Prohibition. They had to. It was virtually impossible to enforce this. Okay? At the time, there were only about 1,500 federal agents to police the entire country. The consumption of alcohol did decline significantly, but many, many people broke the law. They went to these speakeasies, these bars. Some public officials got very rich by taking part in bootlegging. Organized crime grew. Just a disregard for the law completely, and it led to the repeal. And in 1932, the Democratic Party finally called for this repeal, and there you have it. Repeal of Prohibition. So those are your social ones, your economic ones that have to do with those. The last ones we will do are on voting. So that'd be the last row. It's your voting rights. So we're going to go backwards just for a minute to number 15, which is on page 271. And we know it's the right to vote, but basically who did this give, do you think, the right to vote? It doesn't necessarily, I don't believe, say right there in there, but if you read the closer look, Max.
It says that African Americans can vote without taking a test before they can vote.
Yeah, because all males could vote, really. But they required a test and to vote that would prove if you could read or write. Well, at the time, African Americans really couldn't, so they weren't being able to vote. So they made it so that there would be you weren't denied on, and it says there you're not going to be denied on any race, color, or anything else. Yeah, there's your buddy. Good, nice. Hold on a second.
Hey, Bob!
Just no denial upon race, so they got rid of those tests also. Number 19 on 273 gave who the right to vote? Brooke? Women. This is your women's suffrage amendment. Women can vote. This is 1920. If you're a woman, you better know this. Anybody should. 19th Amendment, 1920, gave women the right to vote. All right. Some states, like Wyoming, actually granted women the right to vote ahead of time back in 1890, so they were the very first state that allowed women to vote. 23 on page 275. Now who can vote? No, we got African Americans already. We got women. We got African Americans. Row 5. What area in the country can vote now? Emily.
The District of Columbia.
Yep. People in D.C., because it's not a state, it was a district, it still is a district, were not able to vote. And they felt they were just as much part of the country as well, so they are able to vote too. All right, so people in Washington, D.C. can vote. Then if you look down at 24, this still has to do with voting, but it eliminated something to make it easier for everyone to vote. Bo, what did they eliminate?
Poll taxes.
Poll taxes. They had what they called it was a poll tax, meaning when you went to vote, there was a fee to pay to vote. All right. Typically, who probably could not pay that fee that they were trying to get not to vote, Max? African Americans. Man, we were mean people, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And so we had this fee, and it stopped them from voting because most of the time they couldn't afford the fee. So in 1964, the poll tax was eliminated. All right. And our very last one we will be doing, it's not the last amendment, on 277, number 26. Austin, we got...
Anyone 18 years old is allowed to vote.
Voting age is 18. Prior to this, it was 21. And people thought if you can fight for your country and die for your country at the age of 18, you should be able to vote for your government officials. So 18 years old is your voting age. Okay? Now tomorrow we'll take a quiz on the amendments. There's 27 amendments. I'm not giving you all 27. I think I have about 13 of them that I think are probably the most important ones and the main ones that you should probably know. But I'm not going to tell you which 13 they are. Okay, so you need to go through them. I would use my notes because we have a better description in our notes. Also, by Monday, remember the preamble? By Monday you will have to have the preamble memorized, so make sure you're practicing that out. Okay, you have to have that by Monday. The writing assignment I'm giving you, that's not yours, that's 7th grade. The writing assignment that is due tomorrow, and you will turn it in, it's not in your journal, is amendment writing. And you are completing the sentences up there basically, and you can make it longer if you need to. Give me a second, it's spinning out of control. All right. The purpose of amending the Constitution is, I want you to really think about the Constitution and why it was written and any problems or issues that our country has come up with throughout history. Okay, and what would you feel? The purpose of the Constitution is, you finish the statement. If you need a second sentence or a third sentence, that's fine. After you've done that one, move on to this statement is important today because. So think about why would this be important today. All right, so this is due tomorrow. I want you to really think about it. If you finish in class, you need to work on your preamble or work on studying for the quiz. So you should be doing something here in class.